Okay, we're going. Let's go. Hey, babe. Love you. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I got my chill mix going. 2 cams, front view. When I'm chatting, is that working? Oh, that's paused. That doesn't make no sense. Is that working? Frozen? Solid? Alright, well. Gonna keep it on this one, I suppose. Today's, it's all about imperfections. Electronic stuff, it's always weird. I gotta remember to test it before. So this is not working. Yeah, that's frozen solid. And this one is working. Okay. We got tunes going. I'm in the zone. I am getting ready to work out some ideas. I have a draft to do today. The focus of the next 16 weeks is my qualifying exam 2. What is that? Read state change. I don't know why that's working. Okay. Beep 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 beep. Just talking crazy. All right. So yeah, what's up? Hello. If you've never been here before, I'm Arjun Chopra. I'm a 3rd year PhD student at UC Riverside in their English program, and I am at the end of my 3rd year this year going to be taking my qualifying exam 2. So my qualifying examination 2 consists of basically like a really chunky portfolio and also like the examination itself, but I can't think about that necessarily because that's all, further down the line. That's going to be the oral part of the examination where I'm like in a room with my 3 members of my committee and 5 members of my committee, 3 core members and 2 auxiliary members, and having a 3-hour, I suppose conversation is like the best way to think about it. Obviously more stakes, more in-depth, more consideration than that, but that's the kind of shit I can't necessarily think about. What I can think about is the qualifying examination portfolio, which is chunky document, chonky as my chair called it, that consists of like several different parts, an introduction to my scholarship and like my intended, I suppose, like career trajectory within the field. I think similar to, like, I'm still reviewing different people's materials that I have access to, the grad handbook, talking about it with my professors, what that entails, the dissertation prospectus, broad spectrum look at the dissertation, the paper, the article length, an article length paper that's supposed to be of submittable quality to a journal eventually, after many revisions, the areas list with the reading list for each, like the areas list are basically the 3 areas of focus for my research, and then the reading list that accompany all of those areas, as well as syllabi for each area. 1 syllabus per area of focus to round it all out. So today the focus is going to be, I have a draft that I'm working on, I have a bunch of notes that I've compiled, and I'm writing about Indra Das's The Devourers, and still working out the thesis in its most coherent form, but I don't know, something about how like the thing that I'm interested in is as with Indian speculative fiction in English is how it allows us to reconsider ideas of Indianness that are both anti-colonial and anti-colonial nationalism that is all, I don't know what the fuck, no, I'm all over the place right now. I need to dial back. This is what ends up happening is that it's very difficult to articulate the specific thesis for a specific paper because I start to talk about like all the different areas of research and I need to stay focused. So what I'm focused on are Indradasa's devourers, and specifically like the things I'm interested in are like the shape-shifting aspect and the fact that there are like what are called werewolves but are really shapeshifters, which is like this kind of Western trope of the fantastic, and it is placed within the Indian subcontinent in Mughal India, and then moving through time to neoliberal India. I think that is like the interesting, okay, what does that East-West mixing within the speculative realm do to our ideas of Indian what's going on with those. I have like a bunch of ideas that I'm working with and I'm trying to articulate them. This is what's interesting, is that like the paper is a collection of more complicated like an overarching connection of smaller connections that I'm trying to make. If I have, let me see on my notes, like one of the things I have here is wait, is it over here? Might be over here. Yeah. Okay. So I have like a bunch of scattered ideas that I'm trying to collect together. So, okay. One of the things that I thought was interesting was Fenrir, Sira, Gévaudan in the novel. So how the novel works is essentially there are these, well, within the context of the novel, there are these three European werewolves, shapeshifters with their werewolfish. They're like not necessarily lycanthropic, but like not necessarily not. They're called the Devourers. There's three of them. There's Fenrir, there's Gévaudan, and there's Macedon. Gévaudan from like the French Beast of Gévaudan. I think that's how you pronounce it. Fenrir from like Norse mythology, Macedon from like Greek Macedonian mythology. Kind of taking, so it's already like doing what like Dipesh Chakraborty kind of talks about, like provincializing Europe when he's talking about how capitalism and the transition from feudalism to capitalism, the instantiations of like Marxism within the European continent. They're all buried. There's like this idea that Europe is like one unified continent. He was like, we need to provincialize it to look at them as differentiated. And so having the three Western like themed werewolf type figures couched within this Western tropes of lycanthropy and just werewolf shit, French legends, Norse legends, and Macedonian Greek legends, these areas of what might be considered, I guess it could be read as emblematic of the kind of bases of Western democracy and like Enlightenment, I don't know, like French and the Eastern European and the Greek, like it's all kind of like there. Many key aspects of like that underlie the Western, many key like stories connected to places and cultures that undergird the idea of the West. And then these are kind of transposed in Mughal India, and there's something really interesting happening there where they are the devourers, they are the kind of corollary for the colonizers. Fenrir becomes, he expresses this desire, like we provincializing the three werewolves, and then we understand them as like differentiated and not part of this like monolithic Westernness. We start to like empathize with Fenrir and his desire to like procreate, to I don't know, reach into the future in a way that like the non-devourers are able to, because the devourers can't necessarily procreate, have offspring in the normal way. But then also he like rapes Sira. It's like a violent rape in the text that results in the birth of the character, the unnamed, first unnamed, the stranger Israel is the name of the character, which is, you know, interesting for different reasons. And then that character, you know, has to consume his mother, and then moves into the future. Hundreds of years go by until he meets like a Bengali history professor who he gives these two skins, human skins, on which the stories of his father and mother are written. And I don't know what the fuck is going on with all that stuff. It just really blows my mind. What's another thing that came out of here? Yeah, Alok's relationship with the stranger, mirroring that of the anglicized Indian to the hegemony of the West. That was a note I made. The stranger's a devourer, which means he's emblematic of the West and shape-shifting, Alok representing the South Asian diasporic encounter with a colonial history, suggesting a consideration of Indianness in the global context as both enemy and heir to Western imperialism. That was kind of interesting. Like the Indian, you know, national project as being both like enemy and heir to British colonialism. I thought that was, you know, and so Alok in a way is like Spivak's native informant, but Stranger is also Spivak's native informant in a sense. I don't know how that, and these are, I'm not here to like do anything but just figure shit out for myself. So if it doesn't necessarily make sense or it vacillates between sense and not, like that's my, you know, this is not my dissertation defense. This is not, I'm not going to sit here with like a gun to my head, like I have to articulate myself to the utmost degree with absolute specificity at all moments. Sometimes it's going to sound like fucking rambling nonsense, and that's okay. I have to learn to be okay with that during this process. But just FYI. Yeah, I thought the stories as palimpsestic texts, like text transposed on other text, I thought that was like an interesting thing. Fenrir and Sira's stories etched into human skin and passed down to their son. And I think like, So I think they configure the transnational subject as part human, part monster, the offspring of different cultural confluences, capable of obtaining individuality and freedom, but retaining the past within the self through devouring. And so in a way, the primitive accumulation of colonialism and imperialism produces its own enemy and heir in the form of devourers who shapeshift, but through their consumption are forced to shift even further until their colonial project reproduces the means of its own destruction. That's actually kind of fire. I don't remember writing that, but that's a really sick ass, that's actually good. So, one more time. Indra Das's Devourers configures the transnational subject as part human, part monster, the offspring of different cultural confluences, East and West, capable of obtaining individuality and freedom, but retaining the past within the self through the process of devouring. In a way, the primitive accumulation of colonialism and imperialism produces its own enemy and heir in the form of devourers who themselves shapeshift, but through their consumption are forced to shift even further until their colonial project reproduces the means of its own destruction. Holy shit. Whoa, that's one of those things where you write the notes when you're reading the things and you're like, oh, that's not good, and I don't know, I'm rambling. But that sounded kind of fire. I might use that. That might be the thing. Relationship between past and present is intimately tied to that between personal and national. I just wrote that down. This isn't like necessarily supposed to be mind-blowing thoughts. I said I was the first person to come up with them in any sort of way. It's not about novelty for me, but it is about like the beauty of coming upon it on my own. Like I'm sure that's been said, but for me saying that, I was like, damn. That's kind of a bar for me by myself to myself, because I'm like, I'm trying to configure this shit out for myself, you know? Like, the part of the project is kind of this auto theory is etched in it, where, like, I'm studying Indian speculative fiction in English because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I am in this world, being a person who is very Indian, culturally, ethnically, nationally in a way, but then also very American. I don't know. It's very, very weird. What else? I don't know what I meant by this, but I said something like Frederick Jameson has this idea in archaeologies of like I was kind of thinking about his argument in archaeologies of the future. He said, and I said, whereas Jameson suggests we are in a sense considered archaeologists, attempting to understand the future concept of the other, Das produces a speculative history that allows the present to be understood as materially utopic in a way that both accepts colonial history and rails against it. So I think there's something to be said for like the way that you tell historical stories with like, you just blend spec fic with history that makes sense. And so if it tracks, there's this way that I think this was one of the arguments of a dissertation that I read that discussed the Devourers I downloaded it. It's Dharamraj was like the last name, I think. What was it? Is it Dharamraj? No. It was like... Estranging... Yeah, it was Dharmaraj. Estranging History in Contemporary Indian Science Fiction by Nived Dharmaraj. There's a really great... it's a dissertation. It's a master's thesis by this student, published in 2023, which is great because it's one of the few things that's published on this novel, which is good because that's, I feel like, my article-length paper the paper that I'm writing is like something that'll be... It's like useful kind of introduction in there. But this person made their argument about the estranging of history, about how like Indian speculative fiction creates like an estrangement from history in a way that kind of like interrupts the natural narrativization of colonial history as it's told to Indians in the diaspora in India, those in the subcontinent. By writing about Mughal India, and by placing it within the conversations of Mughal India, transition through to the Dutch East India Company, the British Raj, partition, contemporary neoliberal India, by making that history like a real backdrop, but also including in it this shape-shifting entities, these shape-shifting entities that are that can be simultaneously understood within the ideas, like within the ideation of like the werewolf, which is a Western trope, and also within the trope of like shapeshifters, which is being used here is kind of like connecting it to the Bengali, like the Sundarban folklore of Bon Bibi, who's a shapeshifter. And I don't know, I think it's like this interesting overlapping, instead of just being like, oh yeah, it's like, Arjun from the Mahabharata, then he's like, riding a dragon or something. It's like much more sophisticated and interesting in a way that is not like it does not venerate the colonialism and imperialism of the British Raj. It does, or at large, colonialism and imperialism at large. It also does not venerate unequivocally anti-colonial nationalism, but recognizes the very consideration of both in simultaneity as producing a kind of like rapid oscillation between the colonial story and the anti-colonial nationalist story, where the value of what is like, I don't know, like we come from that, If you're Indian, if you live in the world today, you're connected to that history, you're connected to that past. In order to imagine a future that is different from that past, as it is, as being tied to
necessarily tied to like the rise and fall of colonialism and imperialism, or the rise and fall of like India as a national state, or a predominantly Hindutva national state. Imagining a way to be without necessarily being like shackled to either of those is like a way of looking at the world, you know? Because that's what's interesting about it. Is like Fenrir. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of Sopranos. I can empathize for like the guy who's a piece of shit, and you understand him. It's very weird, you know. Like that guy sucks, and I get it. Not but I get it, and I get it, which is very weird. And then that's not get it doesn't mean excuse or justify, or I'm very careful to say and not but. It's very, very strange to humanize both, because that humanization doesn't necessarily privilege the Western colonial perspective over the subaltern perspective, because Sirah's story is the far longer, far more emotionally charged, more meaningful, more connected to the past as a person. You know, the part that makes Israel also aka the stranger, like more human. Yeah, I don't anyways, this is good for getting me like talking about a lot of these ideas, and I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write about that stuff, which is always the frustrating part. I don't actually enjoy the writing part of a lot of things. I love writing. It's weird though. It's a very strange relationship, excuse me. Anyways, here we go. Let's go. Let's turn up the tunes. So what are we at? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And is this on still? It looks like it works. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I use the Pomodoro method, but like extremely loosely. And I'm just going to like play the timer, and then when the timer goes off at the 25 minutes and I have 5 minutes, I have a 35-pound kettlebell over there, and I broke my toe a month ago. So I'm rocking like this shoe, and I have like another shoe. It's my outdoor shoe and a towel now, because I like to keep it clean. And I'm going to just like do some stuff in between, you know, some kettlebell stuff, just like move around. Finally getting better enough to walk on it, so I'm going to probably be going back to the gym here in a couple of weeks. But it's amazing that you don't work out and then you feel weird about yourself, and then you take a look at yourself and like an objective view, and you're like, oh, I look fine. What the fuck is going on? It's just like this feeling of stiffness. But anyways, here we go. Don't waste that time. And it's my timer button. Maybe I'll move this.
be. So a lot of what I do right now is like I'm going to go through and move a lot of my notes around because I have a shitload of notes, and that's how writing works. Rather than writing, I write a lot of stuff, and then I compose. think this is gonna be a good paper. I think it's gonna be good. It makes sense. I have a lot here for him. And I made sure, this is what I do. Single space, size 10 font only. What's up, babe? Oh, the love of my life. I love you so much. Give me cute. Oh, hell yeah. Do I take an early break because my wife brought me a sandwich? Maybe I do. Because it's time to eat that sandwich, bitch. I'm doing whatever the fuck I want to. I'm eating up on my sandwich, bitch. I'm having fun just studying, bro. Good studying is the fucking shit. I like to hang. Oh, I didn't even hit the timer start. See what I mean? I do whatever I want. I do what I want. I've gone through this and earmarked several pages for my consideration. Great time to go through while I sang on my witch. Oh shit. Wow, give me the fan on. Let's see here. Clean. Good. Okay. I like to put my dishes away right away. I like to keep it clean. Wash my hands. Yes. I can use the mouse. So what I'm trying to do right now is I have like a bunch of these varied ideas and I need to arrange them into their like most plausible order and then write to connect them all. I should probably also like actually start that timer and see. There we go. Working. Gig out. This is front view still stuck? Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Science tarot stuff. So I need to grab one other thing from my bedroom. Oh shit. Okay. I think I need to grab one other thing from my bedroom. Was that even funny? Dude, how? These things are on the fritz! Bro, shut the fuck up. Why are you on? Is. Okay. Funnily enough, not from the weed. No idea why. Super sensitive smoke detectors. It's like, like how? That doesn't even make sense. Okay. it has so much potential. I'm so happy about where it's going. It's not quite like there yet, but that it's becoming a thing is very, very cool. Very cool, very cool. Also, shout out to Remarkable too. This shit, very, very fire. I enjoy it very much. No muss, no fuss. If it had a backlight, it would be number one, 10 out of 10. It is still 11 out of 10, but otherwise it's just a 10 out of 10. I still love the fuck out of it. Very styling. Got the fucking, you know, the folio shit right here. And then you pop this bitch open and you can kind of hit the shagao. And then boom. Little keyboard typograph thingy bob. This is like for the on the go life, you know? Love this thing though. Very, very cool. Still prefer to do a lot of it with the writing utensil itself rather than the keyboard, but I very much enjoy it. Try to take care of my things. Nice. You know, to avoid the very sensitive environment. A little hallway back there. Maybe that'll do it this time. Where do you sit? Should I have like a little stand for you? Demonic grounds. Sundarbans. Where is it? The Sundarbans portion. सुंदरबन कहाँ हो कहाँ गए अच्छा मिला ah little ideas feel so good feel so good What does that mean? Oh. Oh, is that what that does? No. Is that what that does? Whoa. Is that a new tab button? Holy shit. You do nothing. It's a nothing button? Is it a clicky button? I guess it just doesn't do anything. Never mind. The simultaneity. Okay. God damn, that's some good ass H2O, bro. Smacking. Pani. बहुत पसंद है. Bro. बहुत पसंद पानी आते हैं. सारा दिन मैं पानी ही पीता हूँ और कुछ तो पीना ही नहीं. So much for slowly taking shape. Let's see. like, oh, jeez. That fucking bird sound. Okay. Okay. Ugh. This camera's still out, right? Let me see if I can. Let's do with this. What if I trash this? Yes. And this. Okay, there we go. There we go. Cool. I am gonna put the thing on. There we go. I have to wear this shoe when I work out, so I'm just gonna stretch. I wear this one outside, so don't like to get the floor too dirty. Let's see, sometimes I just like to get a nice raise. Hamstrings feel a little tight. I haven't worked out like at all, you know? Oh, so nice, and let's just. What could I do in the 35er? I want fans right here, but it's kind of out of arm's reach. I don't want to like push right now. Just kind of want to like sit. So I think I'm just going to sit down in a squatty stance. Oh, that's not a very good clean. I need to always be solid. Not very close. There we go. It's a little broken, but at least I can move on it. Damn, this feels hella good. I should sit on that foot for a second. Damn, that's nice. Let's just go. Damn, that felt good as fuck. That felt good. Just trying to get back in the habit of moving after having to be off the foot for about a month. Usually high volume, definitely not the kind of stuff that I could do while doing anything else, but it feels nice to just move around, you know? Anyways, let's see. Start another 25. Move over here. Camera switch. Whoa, what are you pointed at? Oh shit. How'd you get pointed that way? Oh, is it this? There we go. There we go. Shit, that felt nice. Okay. What was it? Speedback. Speedback, subculture, and then was it like, I think it was all night. was it after them? I should probably just have this open right now. So I'll put you over here. Boom. Lens cap over there. Nice. Out of the way. Nice in the tuck. In the tuck. In the tuck. In the tuck. Love that. Cool. Okay. As you can tell, I'm a little, you know? Saeed Spivak Chakraborty Pur. Term werewolf. Where would that go? this making the sensey sense? Feels like it is. And I do single space at size 10 font. And the reason I do that is because I go up to 12, I double space this bitch. Page count, pow, 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 pow. At least that's how I would do it in my mind. You know, I'd rather like be a grower than a shower, I suppose. Nice. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. What's up, dude? I don't know. Why? Like in here? Like together? Uh-huh. Right? Yeah, again? Yeah, sure. You're sure you don't want to just ask me? We want to do it all. Okay, alright, cool. I will go do that. Do you know exactly which one you want? When do you want me to? Well, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, whenever you want. That's fine. Whenever we need to do it, that's fine by me. Huh? Okay, so you want to do it like soon, because we don't want to burn daylight. Okay, and we're trying to just do the front today? We could do that, you think? Do we have enough trash space? Okay. Yeah, sounds good. I'll just finish up and then I'm done. Okay. So, you gotta get in the sessions where you can fit them in, you know? You gotta do what work you can and then come back to do it again later. And that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm not going to like dedicate a specific amount of time to it necessarily because shit changes, you know, responsibilities. Wait, I don't have to turn that way, do I? Boom. Boom. So like shit changes. And you know, wait, let's do bam and that'll probably be good. Yeah. Shit changes and I just don't want to have to be beholden to doing anything in a perfect or regimented or at the same time kind of way. It's a lesson that I learned from my friends who are like also married but maybe have like kids or have you know, just like different responsibilities that require their time, like, and are in grad school. Shit's got to get done. You got to find ways to do that, live your life, and you know, you need structure, but you got to be able to go with the flow, and you got to allow some shit to also happen the way that it needs to happen. Like right now, my wife wants to do the lawn. I could have like this whole conversation about like, oh, I'll set aside time and I'm gonna do this for hours and this is Sunday and blah blah blah. But it's like, I don't actually feel that way, and I don't think it's really necessary because I can always jump back on later. It doesn't need to be this like unbroken stream of time, and that's kind of why I want to do what I'm doing right now. You know, there is like a lot of this toxicity around. There's definitely a toxicity around working all the time, never taking breaks. I don't think that's great. There's also a negativity around not having structure and assuming things are just going to occur without putting in that work. There needs to be some sort of, I don't think balance between, but like oscillation between, and understanding that balance is like when you're balanced when you're walking, it's because you're shifting your weight from foot to foot as you walk. It's not because you're on one foot the entire time or weight is equally distributed across each foot. It's like, you know, it's actually like 100% one way, 100% another way, and you move with such rapidity that it feels like stable. And that's like, I don't know, the way I think about it now. Like I'm gonna do stuff with my wife on a Sunday, and I'm also going to do this. I'm just so excited to be like engaged in it and to feel like the paper is moving in like a strong way. And I know I'll have the draft done by later today and probably have time for another session and sit down and just keep working, but maybe even late nights and stuff, because the variability of hours and responsibilities that I have, they're both continuing to increase, but also so open to my own sense of variable structure. And I'm excited to, as a person who, you know, sees during this stuff, like I kind of move stuff around, I like things to be like a certain way, being able to end things like in a couple of minutes at like a 12:24 or something is fine. It doesn't need to be this do this, super rigid. Like, no, it's all gonna get done. I'm gonna get it done. I have like a broad spectrum level of goals, and they're staggered in a way so as to meet things like deadlines and things I need to meet, but doing things in an exacto knife kind of way isn't really my steez. So anyways, thank you all for being here, whoever was here or sees this or whatever, but I just really had fun, and I know a lot of it is just like watching this, like me move my head between stuff. Not much seems to be happening, but I'm having the most fun. I know it's silly, but I just love reading and writing and thinking, and just this process is very, very, very fun. Composition is it really is composition. I don't know, it's weird. What even is it? I'm getting a degree in English literature, but like what does that mean? So up for debate all the time. Anyways, we got a day ahead of us. Time to go wax some weeds. But before I wax some weeds, how about, oh shit, everywhere we fall.